For about 76 years, Pluto was considered the smallest planet of our solar system. Then, in 2006, the International Astronomical Union, the IAU, made a decision that took away Pluto's planet status. Masses of Pluto fans were left asking, why? What most of them don't know is that the answer comes from a totally different question. What is a planet? And the answer depends on when you are. Back in ancient Greece, a planet was something that wandered the night sky. That included Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, since, according to popular theory at the time, they all revolved around the Earth. In fact, the Sun and the Moon were believed to revolve around the Earth as well. Up until about halfway through the European Renaissance, that's what planets were, things that orbited the Earth, which meant the Sun and Moon were sometimes called planets too. Then, a man named Copernicus suggested that the Sun was the center of the solar system, not the Earth. He wasn't the first. At least one ancient Greek suggested it as well, but this was the first time it became widely accepted. The definition of planets changed to celestial bodies that orbit the Sun. For the first time, Earth was considered a planet. That made the total 6 planets for quite some time, until 1781, when the advent of home telescopes showed astronomers that what had long been labeled a star was actually another planet, Uranus. That added one more planet to the list, but didn't really change the definition. Then, in the early 1800s, new technology led to the discovery of small planets called Vesta, Juno, Ceres, and Pallas. And from 1807 to 1845, there were 11 planets in the solar system. So why didn't we learn about them in school? Because there were more of them. In fact, there were quite a few small celestial bodies all orbiting the Sun in that same area. Since there were so many, and they were so much more similar to each other than to the other planets, astronomers added a new category for them, called asteroids. Vesta, Juno, Ceres, and Pallas lost their status as planets and became asteroids, and that group of asteroids that orbit together was named the asteroid belt. If you're keeping track, that puts us back down to 7 planets. Then in 1846, clever calculations and new technology led to Neptune's discovery and boosted the number to 8 planets. And in 1930, a similar growth of technology helped astronomers find Pluto, which was named the 9th planet. With nothing else to make us question the definition of planet, that could have been the end of the story. But technology continued to advance, helping astronomers discover other systems of planet-like celestial bodies that orbit other stars, or don't orbit stars, and planets outside our solar system with masses almost the same size as a brown dwarf star's mass. They even found more objects around Pluto that were the same size or larger, like Eris, which is almost exactly the same size. So what do we call these new planet-like objects? Should we consider all of them planets? But they're also different from each other. Those differences are what drove astronomers to take a closer look at the definition of planet, and in 2006, they made a decision. Today, the term planet refers to a celestial body with a mass big enough to be rounded by its own gravity, but not big enough to cause thermonuclear fusion. So our planets count, but the ones as massive as dwarf stars don't. A planet also has to have cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. In other words, it can't be the satellite of another planet, and it can't be surrounded by other celestial bodies that aren't its satellites. Pluto fits the first 2 qualifications, but not the last. It is surrounded by other celestial bodies with smaller sizes, which make it part of the Kuiper Belt, but not a planet. But don't feel bad for Pluto. Astronomers made a new classification for just that situation. Along with Ceres and Eris, Pluto is the first of the dwarf planets. Well, for now. If we've learned anything from history, it's that the definition of planets changes as technology advances and exposes more of space's secrets. Today, Pluto is a dwarf planet. Tomorrow, who knows?